Hey there, it's your host, Eric, from the Machine of Nonsense. Before we get to the bracket of nonsense, I just wanted to let everyone know this will be a spoiler-heavy discussion. We can't really describe these characters in full without, kind of really going into spoiler territory, given big plot points of the various games, movies, and TV shows that they are a part of. So if you're afraid of spoilers, I would just recommend maybe skipping forward when a particular character is being talked about, just in case, if you really care about that character and you really care about spoilers. So just wanted to warn you guys, and on to the episode. Hey there, it's the Machine of Nonsense, episode 46, and we've gotten down to the Elite 8 of the bracket of nonsense. It's been a while since we've done one of these. Thanks for hanging on. I'm sure you've all been at the edge of your seats waiting for this pod to drop. We're doing it. We're getting down from 8 to 4 matchups tonight. I'm your host, Eric, joined as always by Kayla.
Hey.
And we got Tomas.
How's it going?
And Mike.
Hey.
So it's going to be us four, and just in case we tie on any of these, you guys get to do the tiebreaker. So, like I said, we've got 8 contenders, 4 matchups. Let me remind you, because it's been a little while, who is remaining. We've got Leslie Knope from Parks and Rec. She beat a bunch of people to get here.
Everybody.
She did. She beat Cliff Booth, Mabel Pines, and gosh, who'd she beat in the first round, guys?
Daniel Plainview.
Daniel Plainview.
I had to scroll up. I wasn't ready.
I had to scroll up. Oh man, Daniel.
Matchup is bullshit. The only one that was bullshit out of the whole bracket.
That was a rough start.
Oh, imagine if
like
Daniel
a first
Plainview was here.
matchup too that we had to do.
Definitely tripped out the gate on that one.
Well, we'll see if she moves on against Big Boss. Big Boss from Metal Gear. He took out Aloy from Horizon. He took out Alucard from Castlevania, and he took out Ahsoka Tano from Star Wars, The Clone Wars.
I mean,
She'll have to match up.
World's best soldier.
Was that all 3 women?
Man,
No.
Oh,
Just the
Alucard.
lady?
Well, Alucard,
well.
Fluid, I think, a little bit.
Yeah.
But he's
we'll
a
see.
man.
He's a man. Well, he's technically a half man, half vampire.
Right.
I don't know how that works as far as
Swings both
gender.
ways.
Right. Tony
boy.
Stark has made it this far as well. He took out Amy Dunn from Gone Girl. He took out Nathan Drake from Uncharted and the Joker from The Dark Knight. Tony Stark from the MCU. He's going to match up today against Joel Miller from The Last of Us. Joel Miller took out the titan that is Willow Rosenberg. He took out
From Buffy the Vampire
from
Slayer.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah.
With that one, I need notes. I don't know.
No, they know out there. He took out Anton Chigurh from No Country for Old Men, and then he mercilessly beat Ben Wyatt with a brick from Parks and Rec.
It did my boy wrong.
On the other side of the bracket, we've got Lou Bloom, everyone, from Nightcrawler. Lou
Dark
Bloom,
Horse.
yeah. Took out Ron Swanson from Parks and Rec. He took out Thanos from the MCU. And then he took on and took out Tyrion Lannister from Game of Thrones.
That's an incredible kill streak.
He's maybe had the best,
That was a road.
strength of schedule here. I mean, like, that was
Tell
rough.
you.
we got Sirius Black taking on Lou Bloom. Sirius Black from Harry Potter took out Guts from Berserk. He took out Undyne, the Undying from Undertale. And finally, he took out Ingrid Thorburn from Ingrid Goes West. Sirius Black.
Technically, Gary Oldman could have played all of those characters. So.
They were all channeling Gary Oldman. The final two on today's bracket, we've got Rust Cohle. He took out Kirby in the first round. This is Rust Cohle from True Detective.
This would have never happened if we kept Top Man on the bracket.
He then went through Ellen Ripley from the Aliens series, and finally he took out another. Unfortunately. And then one of the longest debates that we had was the two True Detectives. Rust Cohle narrowly defeated Mayor Sheehan from Mayor of Easttown.
Mayor needed a break. She was tired.
He's going to have to take on George Costanza, the man, the myth, the legend from Seinfeld. He took out Peter Parker from the MCU, Kratos, the God of War, and Arthur Morgan from Red Dead Redemption 2.
That's a strength of schedule, right? Fucking there. That
He's fucking.
No lie.
I want to commission art for whoever the final matchup is. I hope it's
that's some confidence.
Oh boy. So let's start it off, folks. We got.
I want to put George Costanza's head on the final form of Kefka.
Oh my god! Oh my gosh! Okay, this got to happen now. I'm gonna go make one of my beautiful photoshops that I'm known for. If you loved my Godzilla vs. Kong out there on Monstars, you're gonna see some things, folks.
Pretty good.
Oh no, that was Ryan who made that one. I make much worse ones than that one. Let's get it going. We got Leslie Knope from Parks and Rec versus Big Boss from Metal Gear. What do you got, guys? Who wants to speak on Leslie's behalf first?
Who picked her?
Victor.
Kayla.
It's you.
There's no doubt in my mind. I don't know that there's really much else to say about Leslie. She's just the ultimate person you see on TV that you just love. She's the number one person.
I love her.
I'm speechless, quite frankly, at how much awe I get thinking about Leslie Knope.
I'm giggling.
Yeah.
I have Tony's meme open from the other day. It says, "This is one for the history books. The world's first Halo jump with the easy slides."
That's a real good one. That's a good one.
Just got Big Boss with some easy slides on.
Oh, Big Boss.
Well, that calls it.
See, Leslie would never wear Yeezy slides. She's much more, practical, down to earth. Big Boss, he's the 1%, I think.
All right,
There's
Mike,
nothing-
you're a Big Boss. Sorry.
There's just nothing bad I can say about Leslie.
Yeah. Big Boss has some bumps.
Right.
In there at times. There are times when you think you're Big Boss and you're not. You're just not. Not that big of a boss.
Nope.
Which I still think is pretty cool. I think it's cool.
Yeah.
But
that game was a mess.
But man, he's got the diamond dogs. Leslie ain't got no diamond dogs.
You got dogs though.
He loves David Bowie.
Yeah.
They did play him like a damn fiddle, though.
They did play him like a fiddle. I don't think the Big Boss man can fuck with Leslie.
Ooh.
I think this is.
Wasn't that your character?
Yeah, but I mean, I would have put Leslie on my list. Had
No, I feel you, man.
The question is, who is better? Who do you like more, Leslie or Big Boss? It doesn't matter who brought him to the table. We've all made arguments here that may have changed decisions. That's what we're here to do.
I love Metal Gear
Right.
Solid 3.
Right.
So do I.
Do
So
you
do I,
love
of course.
Leslie Knope?
I love Leslie Knope too. I love Parks and Rec.
Right.
If I could, I'd blow up the entirety of season 1. Just to get past the Brandanowitz.
We all got some bad times, you know, some bumps and scratches. Sometimes we want to forget about it.
I'd
Wish I
blow
could
up
forget
portable
season
ops,
1.
you know? Like, I mean...
Yeah.
I mean,
you make a good point. Like, if I love Big Boss, I got to accept the greater Kojima verse that comes with it as well. And
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
We've already established Big Boss is the most important character in every way, shape, and form in the Metal Gear universe. I mean, I think we all agreed on that.
yeah,
I think that. I don't know. Both of these characters get played like a fiddle at times from our government. One of them wants to change that and make it a better place. The other wants to just find his own place outside of that. A very violent place. You know,
got a vacation booked for Zanzibar land this winter.
right.
They celebrate American Thanksgiving.
He makes a couple ice towns or whatever that Ben wants.
He does.
Yeah, he makes a few of those. A couple failures in there. Couple good
More than a
ones.
few ice towns.
Yeah. I mean, Leslie becomes president of the United States. Spoiler alert. Am I wrong on that? Right. So
Well, we could only assume.
That being said, Big Boss's son does as well. So
that's a good point.
Yeah. Solidus. It's a little murky on how that all works.
Mr.
And there's no
President.
doubt in your mind that Leslie did it like the best, honest way. You'd be behind her. Not Big Boss, though.
I don't know. On a list full of some questionable, people, questionable, in character. I just think Leslie is the light through all of that, and we need her on the bracket. We need her in that final four.
Wow.
She's a good character. God, man. I already lost Ben Wyatt, damn it. I lost the boss though too, so I'm like hanging on for dear life for Big Boss. But I love both of these characters so much. Leslie's such a great character too. She's a freight train, man, regardless of the fact, like, even if like she doesn't want to be the one to do it, she does it. She gets shit done. And even like she doesn't even do it at the expense of like losing who she is as a person either. Even like when she was going up against Bobby Newport, they wanted to run the whole muckraking campaign and everything against them, but she won based off of her own merits. Even to the point where like she had fucking Paul Rudd clapping for her at the debate. And that's like one of my favorite like arcs in that show too, mainly because Paul Rudd's there. But
he's the best.
Love him.
Yeah, both these characters are leaders. And if I'm being led, I want it to be Leslie.
Man, Strong words. Strong words. I thought this might be we'd start off with a split down the middle and have to get to a vote, but I mean, I think we know Kayla is full Leslie. Mike has kind of
Full Leslie.
I
edged
just want to
Leslie.
make one argument for the big boss.
Sure.
You know, I know he fucks up a lot, but like his intentions out the gate are, I think, in the right place, because you know his country abandoned him, and he just wanted to make a safe haven for people like him. And you know, you discover that through the later games, playing as Solid Snake. That it's like a lot of these people follow him to their death because they had nothing, and their countries betrayed them, and they gave he gave them shelter and solace and gave them purpose to their life. You know, and that like in those early Metal Gear games, the MSX ones, the second one, the first one's kind of like bleh, but like the second one, the whole Zanzibar land thing, like I thought that was a really cool like concept for the reasons he was doing what he was doing. But
yeah, I think if we gave Leslie a giant like oil rig in the middle of the ocean, she'd probably also disarm all nukes in the world. I think that would.
You would pour syrup and all of that shit, and it would get all sticky in there.
Ooh.
Done.
And just gum up all the nuclear shit, man.
Here's the more important question: do you think that Leslie could take down a Shagahad?
She'd talk the driver down, I think. They'd come to a mutual agreement of some sort.
Kuwabara.
Oh, so we calling it for Leslie?
Yeah, I think Pawnee is the most powerful Shagahad opponent. And her city betrays her over and over again.
That's a good point. Oh my
god. She never turns her back on them, and makes it a better place constantly.
Guys, with Leslie going to the next round, we might have like a little Indiana bias going on. The fans might have a little outcry on that. I don't know.
I'm
Indiana
not from Indiana.
has nothing to do with my
I'm
love
in
for
Florida.
And her love of Larry Bird has nothing to do with that. I promise.
Oh. Well, did Larry Bird ever make the Final Four?
He did.
Yeah.
Well, then Leslie...
He lost the title game to Magic Johnson's Michigan State. Yeah.
Man, I knew we'd bring sports into this podcast somehow.
There we go.
Leslie Knope, just like Larry Bird, gets to the Final Four over Big Boss.
We lost to Mayor Jordan. We got Larry Bird.
Oh, good stuff.
Mayor.
Yeah, these are hard.
Oh, it's a meat grinder now. Especially this next one. I'm really sad about this next one.
I didn't want to throw Big Boss in the meat grinder.
Man.
And I've ripped off the Band-Aid on a lot of my decisions. I'm already pretty set on what's going to happen.
He's not in the meat grinder, man. He just lost an eye. That's all.
Okay.
Just Leslie just shot him in the eye.
Okay.
He's used to like blondes shooting him in the face, so I mean, like,
yeah.
Just on theme.
Super on theme.
Big Boss goes through a lot, man. If anybody can take another loss, it's the Big Boss. Takes a lot of L's throughout the
He's going to
series.
start his own bracket. It's fine.
Yeah.
In the middle of the ocean.
Call it the Zanzibar bracket.
Bracket Barland, I believe is the name.
Bracket Barland. I like it.
Oh, all right. Two guys who also know how to take, I don't know, defeat or something. Tony Stark. Yeah, well,
One of them knows how to take a golf club to the head pretty good. So.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah,
was
Tony's face didn't look too great after the old snap either. We got Tony
Ah.
Stark versus Joel Miller. Gosh, the driving force of 10 years of the MCU, Tony Stark versus the the character who probably made me cry more in video gaming than anyone else has ever done for me, multiple times.
You've had some Tony Stark cries too.
Yeah, I've on record I've cried from both of these characters. So.
No, I said, I think on one of these episodes, I said, like, my heart sunk when Tony gets stabbed by Thanos, like, and I thought that, like, that was an incredibly powerful moment where he's like, just, I assumed bleeding out, and Thanos is kind of telling him, I hope you are remembered and everything else. And if I shed a tear, it was then.
I thought in Endgame when he has that final hug with his pop.
Well, yeah, that's a whole, the daddy stuff. You're right.
Softy. I didn't forget that.
You're right. No, I did. I repressed it. Thanks for bringing that back up. That Endgame stuff with Howard Stark is real great. It's really good. It's, in my opinion, the best part of any of the time travel stuff that they do.
Yeah.
But man, Joel was my guy. He's just, we've already spoiled it a million times or whatever else. His death is just so tragic and disgusting and like visceral and like anger inducing. I don't know, just anger inducing. Tony's death to me at least felt like just inevitable.
Sacrifice.
It kind of had to happen.
There's a finality to it.
Yeah, exactly. It was like the wrap up of 10 years. Boom. But yeah, two incredibly powerful deaths, I guess, to start this on the right foot.
Yeah.
Where else do we want to go with this? I mean, we've kind of gone everywhere with Tony's just incredible like influence on movies, really, like on cinema, and comic books and everything, and just an entire blockbusters and the entire genre of superhero movies and everything else. And then Joel, just
I did a lot for gameplay and storytelling and
voice acting, everything. Yeah. Video games as an art.
Yeah, very significant.
What else is there to say? I don't know.
For me, it comes down to the smaller moments. Of course, each have their big, Joel saving Ellie, Joel's death, Tony Stark saving the world multiple times, but like just the small moments between Joel and Ellie are so good. How he gets this second chance, to find normalcy in the most abnormal circumstance anyone could go through. The end of the world through a zombie virus, basically.
Yeah.
It's so good, man. I don't know. I might be the last one to vote on this one. I might be.
Will you be the last of us?
So tough. Yeah, I might be.
It is so tough because I feel like there's things I want to say about Tony, but you can literally say them about Joel too. The things we already mentioned, just with how like they steamrolled the changes of both of these medias. I keep like thinking like, yeah, but Tony Stark is, and then I'm like, no, I can't even say that because I can say the same thing about Joel.
Yeah, two different mediums, but like I don't know, man.
There's just so much character growth and change. Like in Tony, we see Tony like very wild and playboy and selling nukes to other countries. You know, he's just a weapons dealer. He's rich and crazy, and you do see him like totally change into like your father figure. He becomes just the person you want there to
Yeah.
save you.
Spider-Man's
The
dad.
latest episode of What If, you forget how this episode shows you like what Tony Stark was in Iron Man 1 and how much of a shithead
Yeah.
Right, shitty. Like
he was. Yeah.
it's bad, but then he just changes, and a lot of it isn't great things, but they're relatable things. He's scared. He's
He's human.
he's didn't have a great relationship with his father, and you see all those things like develop in his personality. And last episode, Aaron had said like, "Oh, well, Tony's just become Robert Downey Jr." But I think it's the total opposite. I think that like we all know Robert Downey Jr. was a drugged up playboy in a very not great point in his career, and this did save his career, but I think it saved his life and changed who he was as a full person.
I think it gave a lot of people careers too.
Well said. Sure.
One thing I haven't really mentioned, I guess, in the conversations about Tony Stark is he goes through like multiple changes. You mentioned like, yeah, there's character growth, but like he has like phases similar to the phases of Marvel where, yeah, you start off Playboy, then, okay, I need to care about Pepper and the world and stuff like that. And then into the Avengers, now I have to care about, you know, like
New York.
just existence. Yeah, like he's like terribly afraid of like I am a protector and I have to like protect the entire world. And then you go into like his mini revenge tale of like, you know, avenging his parents and everything else with the Winter Soldier and everything else, and then, you know, shift into a father figure with Spider-Man, with Peter, and then a literal father at the end. Like, so there's so many different little parts of how it's not just like, oh, Playboy one day and then like heroic character another. That it's like incremental and different changes throughout the way.
Yeah.
And it's unique to like the medium too, like the fact that we've seen him for 10 years in 15 different, you know, whatever movies that we've had that opportunity to see him make all those little shifts.
There's a lot of characters in the MCU. I feel like he got most of the growth. Like,
Yeah.
I think he's, you know, he's human. He's de facto like, it's so weird that like, you know, he's just a dude in a suit, yet he's, you know, got such a heavy sway to like the whole entire thing. Like, you know, he's just one man amongst like gods, aliens, and like all this shit coming at, you know, the planet. And, you know, there's times where like he doesn't want to do what he's doing. But I don't know, man.
He fucks up a lot.
Well, that's the thing. And I think he's like, you know, supposed to be the proxy, like, you know, for the human emotion of like the MCU. Like I don't
We
know.
all fuck up.
I could relate a lot to, you know, his character, you know,
Yeah.
not just the, you know, the comic book being a drunk one, you know, it's, you know, it's like, but like, I don't know. I think like that the character does a really good job at like conveying like the whole like spectrum of just human emotion. It's like,
Yeah.
even just at the end, you know, watching poor little Peter Parker disappear in his arms. Dealing with the fact that, you know, they lost, and then, you know, this God fucking
His last decision, his ultimate decision is to
Yeah.
sacrifice himself to save the world.
he's just a dude, man. It's like you got like everybody, like, and he's like surrounded by like all the shit going on, and like, and just he's got like one moment. It's like, ah,
not a very good point, but I still would like to mention it because I also really like things that have like symbols to them, and by that I mean like having like the Iron Man palm thing and just like the gauntlet, the red with red. I just like those things, so that kind of gives me joy. Sparks joy.
A lot of red with Joel. Too.
Note that.
A lot of, oh, yeah.
He creates most of his red.
Bricks are red.
I mean, Joel has to make that choice too, and he makes the opposite choice. He chooses to not save the world. He chooses to
fucks up everybody to save her.
That's potential too, though. So you don't know whether or not, like,
but
I'll heavily make the argument that, like, cracking open, a poor girl's brain stem at the hopes of just finding a cure. He's like, run some goddamn scans first.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think it's an exact parallel because it's more like if Peter Parker, like, it was the only one who could make the snap, and it was Tony's decision to, like, all right, Parker, you've got to make this snap. Like, he said, like, because I fully feel that Joel, in that same situation, if Joel was the one who was like immune and they were gonna like work on, I think Joel sacrifices himself to save the world. I think Joel does snap the gauntlet. I think it's the fact that like he couldn't lose Ellie. Yeah. He couldn't put that on her to do that. Like for selfish reasons. I mean, he saw his daughter in that and everything else, but just like, I don't know, like, does Tony do that to Peter Parker? Like, Peter Parker is on the table and his spider blood can save humanity or something. Does Tony walk away and let that happen? I don't know that he does.
So
I don't know, man. It's hard being a papa.
Yeah.
I don't envy either of these characters and the decisions they had.
I've said this a lot. I think this is like a 50-50. Like, I don't know. It's the closest.
This one's tough.
We've been. Because, man, I don't know. I'm not Tony Stark. I'm not a genius. I'm not, a billionaire. I'm not, that. But Joel, I mean, I could be Joel. Easy.
Whacking.
And
a few bricks.
Both characters probably. We don't know a lot of Joel's past. Post his. When he loses his daughter and everything, into when he meets Ellie. But we can kind of guess that it's filled with some ill decisions, similar to Tony. Sure, in his life, and even when he becomes a hero, he makes a lot of dumb decisions.
Right.
Tries to force his desire and his will to save the world on the world.
Yeah.
And almost destroys the world that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Man, and Joel's just he has to live those final years, kind of just. I think he knows that it's going to happen someday. That all of this violence and all of the hatred and everything that he's it's going to catch up to him. And both of them know that. Man, it's just so weird how this bracket works out with these characters.
Yeah, it really is. It really
so weird.
is.
I know I say that a lot too, but it's just real strange to me. Doctor Strange.
This is what we wanted, right?
Yeah, basically.
In a weird roundabout way. I mean, bunch of sadists.
Oh man,
Vasquez.
Tough one. I'm gonna throw my vote in. My vote's for
Tony.
Tony.
Oh wow.
Tomas.
I mean, drunk's got to go with the drunk, man.
I'm Joel. I'm a Joel. Joel never did me wrong at any point. I agreed with his decision to save Ellie. I'm selfish in the same way. I think I would have done the same thing. I don't think I'm the bigger man. I don't think I'm Tony Stark. I don't think I'm snapping my finger to save the world and dying. And a lot of the decisions that Tony has made throughout the MCU, I don't agree with. So I'm going Joel.
Oh, comes down to me.
That's why I stopped going last, Mike.
Well, Monstars, it's gonna be up to you. I'm going Joel. I gotta go Joel. We gotta see. That's the only
Yeah.
way to decide
The
this
only
one. It has to come up to you, the fans. I gotta vote Joel. I gotta go Joel.
I like that. I think that's a good way to do it. So we're gonna leave it up to you guys. We'll post a poll on Monstars to see who you want. And then when we get to the finals, we'll know who won, either Tony or Joel. So I'll post that right before this episode airs here, or right after the episode.
Everyone
airs,
needs to watch all of the movies before
Every
they
single
vote.
one.
All of the Marvel movies, even the ones Tony's not in because he's referencing a bunch of them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And you have to play Last of Us and Left Behind and Last of Us 2. Everyone has to do it. All of you. Okay?
And
you can
you
do
have
it.
to listen to all of the Bracket of Nonsense
That's
podcasts
Right.
to hear all
Yeah.
of our arguments.
Yeah.
Yeah, over again, because it's been a while, so please,
I'll post an order. So you do Iron Man, then episode 1 of us, then episode 2 of us. Well, anyway, we'll get there.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Oh, so we're leaving it up to you folks. Don't do us wrong. Pick Joel. No. Pick whatever is in your house. Whatever's in your heart there.
Your house hurt.
Yeah, your house hurt. Oh boy. If either of these characters are in your house, just be afraid, I think.
No.
All right. We got the next side of the bracket. Lou Bloom versus Sirius Black. This one's tough for me. I spoke very highly of Sirius in every matchup that he had. It's Gary Oldman, man. He's a standout. He's my favorite character from Harry Potter.
Eric loves Harry Potter.
Yeah, yeah, you know me. I'm a real pothead. I also like Harry Potter. But it's Lou Bloom, man. Lou Bloom's great,
Oh,
so
no. Lou Bloom
Yeah,
he's swinging up in here.
it's such a dark horse. I wouldn't have ever thought to put him on my own list. Like if I had made a list of maybe 30 characters or something. I don't know if he doesn't just come to mind, but the more we started talking about him and people just were so passionate about him, it's oh yeah, that's right. He was cool. I don't know.
He's taking down Ron Swanson. He's taking down Thanos. And he's taking down Tyrion Lannister, man. Never in a million years when we started this thing. It's oh, hey, Lou Bloom. Oh, that's a pretty cool character. It's he's fucking y'all boys came up the bat for Lou Bloom.
Yeah, he's weird, dude.
He's cool. He's
gives me
and
the creeps.
Just knowing, I guess the experience that Jake Gyllenhaal had while filming Zodiac and what David Fincher put him through during that movie kind of shaped what roles he wanted to do after that, and we got kind of his best performance in this one with Lou Bloom and Nightcrawler. So
I don't like Jared Leto. It's just I can't.
Sure.
No matter how great he is, whatever he's in, the only thing he's in that I do like is Urban Legends.
Like my say Fight Club where he gets space
No,
smashed in.
Urban Legends, the like '90s horror movie. It was like the first horror movie I remember watching. He's in it. And Lou Bloom in the picture that Eric chose to put into the bracket, and everything that you guys have said
Oh
about
no,
him, his
bro.
situations, his weirdness, is like he's trying to be Jared Leto, and it's not a good
Oh no, Kayla.
drive for me.
Oof.
I don't think she's far off. I mean, I feel like Jared Leto could. This is Jake Gyllenhaal's like best performance, but Jared Leto is Lou Bloom. I mean,
Right,
like he
right.
could be like he could be. I don't know that that's like a reason why I would kick him off the bracket, but it's legitimate. I think
It's an argument I'm making.
Mm. Man, Jared Leto sucks.
He does.
Yeah.
He's the worst. He just.
I don't like that dude.
It kind of ruins things.
Oh, pulled out the sneaky Jared Leto defense.
I know.
No.
She's been holding his card back this whole
I
time,
know.
guys.
Now let's talk. Does anybody think this is Gary Oldman's best role?
No, I will.
I can't speak to it.
Yeah, see, that's what I was gonna
Speaking of
kind of
Eric,
say.
I'm swaying towards Eric logic now.
Yeah, yeah, and honestly, like he's a standout when he's on screen, but like these Harry Potter movies are long and deep and a lot of characters and everything else, and like he'll steal 20 minutes here or there.
Yeah, he doesn't really have that much time.
Yeah, so it's almost unfair because like Jake just is everything, and he's Nightcrawler. You know, he is.
He's the main character. This is a
He's good
sub
Wagner.
character.
Yeah,
I
and the
think-
character matters so much. You know, like too. It's not just like you know, Tom Hardy in Fury Road or something. Like it's
Hey,
it's
man,
Lou Bloom. You know.
Yeah.
they do the bracket. putting Fury Road on this.
Oh man, Fury Road should have. I Furiosa was on my short list.
God, that
but,
movie's so good.
That would have been
Oh.
good.
Can we
so-
just talk about that movie? Really?
I think it was between Furiosa and Ellen Ripley.
Should
and,
have put the fucking bass player from Slipknot on
Oh,
on this list.
Oh man. Yeah.
R.I.P. probably. So what do we think? I just Lou. By default almost.
Yeah,
I mean, my vote's for Sirius on the record.
I mean, Sirius is cool, man. And like, I think what Sirius got going for him is the fact that he's played by Gary Oldman and he's got pretty cool character design. But like,
That's fine. I'm
how
just
far is
going
he
on the
going?
record. I don't want it to be like, oh, he unanimously won. That ain't the truth.
Nah, I respect you standing up for bat for your boy.
I don't think Jared Leto could have played Sirius Black. Just if that sways anyone.
Could have played Lou Bloom.
Oof.
I think he could.
Just because a person is someone. Like,
I mean,
yes,
Tec-
there are Lou Blooms in the world. We know that.
technically, Gary Oldman could have played Lou Bloom.
That would have been better, probably.
I don't think Jared Leto could have played Jake Gyllenhaal's character in Zodiac, though. So, just for the record.
I don't think
It's
he could.
fine. It's fine.
I don't think he could have played Gary Oldman though either. So
No.
The Gare Bear.
They've both done dreadlocks, though, right? Or no, he had like cornrows in. Didn't he have
Oh,
cornrows in Panic Room?
Jared Leto did, yeah.
Yeah.
And
So they've both
Jared
appropriated
Leto?
other people's cultures, you know, in kind of unfortunate ways. So.
yeah, but like
yeah, but
Gary
Oldman pulls it off, though.
Yeah, like, he had like one eye. You know,
Yeah.
fucking. He was on a lot of drugs.
So Eric, Tomas, you guys are Lou.
Yeah, I'm Lewin.
Yeah.
Bloomin' onion over there.
Lou's just- Lou's just like I said, he is Nightcrawler, and Sirius Black is like a great side character in in a epic 7 movie or 8 movie, thing. So
I don't have a ton of skin in this one. I want to make it fun.
Oh, come on.
So it's you, the Monstars, who are going to decide who goes on to the Final Four. That's right.
Man, I already clicked on Lou.
Mike is wielding the hammer today, the Monstars hammer. Oh my goodness.
You gotta give the people what they want. They want to vote, man. People love to vote. Vote or die. All right.
Well, last time they voted, they pushed my boy Ben through. So
I love it. I love it. You guys are tasked with another big one, guys. Lou Bloom versus Sirius Black, in addition to Tony Stark and Joel Miller. So get to voting, guys. As soon as you hear this, run off, start typing, start putting clicks on there. Monstars, our Facebook group.
So I'm just going to make like 10 different accounts. Click.
Viable strat.
Oh,
man. Weird. Spray on Magooch. I don't know that guy. He's
6'9" so fine.
Oh, boy.
420 just plays.
All right, folks. We'll see if you guys have to vote on this one, too. The final
They won't.
matchup. We'll see. The final matchup of round 4 is Rust Cohle from True Detective versus George Costanza from Seinfeld. Man, one was Rust Cohle was a number 1 seed, and George was definitely on the short list. I'm surprised he wasn't a number 1 seed. I feel like
I tried.
Yeah, George is, just
Gotta be unanimous, I think, to be a 1 seed.
As far as I'm concerned, this should have been the Costanza bracket. So,
I mean, it
Rust
could have
was a
been.
fine seed.
I agree. So, Rust, he was my vote to get here. Love the guy. Love his whole vibe. It pained me to knock out Mare,
that was a tough one.
Love everything about her,
There's a few band-aids on this list that were pretty hard to rip off, man.
It's not going to pain me as much to now come to think of it. He also knocked out Ellen Ripley, and that sucked too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I've just never vibed with George myself. I vibe so much with Rust. So, I'm a Rust boy. I don't know. You guys fight it out amongst yourselves.
Costanza.
These characters are so similar to me, I know I've said that a lot.
Sure.
No, these are not similar at all.
I believe on record, Mike has said Costanza was very pivotal in forming his sense of humor.
Just my everything, my essence.
He bathes in Costanza.
Essence of George. Oh man, I'm a Georgie Porgy. I love Rust. But man,
So we have accomplished nothing tonight. One thing.
Man, Rust is cool. Rust is very good. Just
none of us want to be either of these people. That's the thing.
I don't know.
There was the Summer of George.
Just the way Rust, like when they think they've solved it, him and Woody, and just the way he instantly thinks of how to cover it up, because they weren't supposed to be there. They got blood on their hands, and he instantly knows, like, okay, I'm just going to shoot out this way. They're going to have round, we were, you say this, we were over there. And just the way he's always one step, he's, whether it's hiring his weird, like, boss slash, like, army buddy to, like, have his back and stuff like that, or the snipers he has, like, helping him out at certain points. George would do none of that. George would fumble and bumble his way.
George avoids confrontation at all costs.
But man, he's the best bumbler and fumbler.
Absolutely.
He is the Mount Rushmore of Bumble Fumble. And
he's all 4 heads, bro.
Yes, it's all just angry, sad faces. And confused faces. I have to go George.
Yes.
Oh, man. Does strength of schedule or weakness of schedule matter at all here? Because George, I think, had it kind of easy. A little bit.
What?
Maybe.
Oh,
No,
wait.
I don't know.
Don't be sleeping on my
He took
boy.
out Spider-Man. Everyone loves fucking Spider-Man.
Yeah, he took out Marvel's like fucking poster child, and then he took out Kratos.
I feel like no one really dug Kratos. I don't know. But I guess you're right. No one dug Kirby. You're right. It's about the same.
He took out the video game character. Like, for my money.
Yeah.
You're right. Arthur should have won. Do we want to recount on that one?
I mean, I can tell you should.
I don't.
No, George won fair
That
and
one
square.
was tough. Tony and Joel just as tough for me with Arthur and George.
Wow.
Strong words.
That was the other, like, man, this is just choosing between my children here kind of thing. Choosing family. But
gosh, are we gonna have to leave it up to the fans again?
I just have so much joy. It runs through my veins. It's just
yeah, you ain't the first, you ain't the last. There's still people. Seinfeld coming to Netflix. I think probably a whole new generation of fans. Or who knows? It could get the Friends treatment. Like, there's a whole backlash of like Friends sucks now, even though it was the most popular show for like 20 years or something.
But Friends does suck.
I can't wait for The Office sucks.
That's gonna. I think that's gonna happen too.
I can't wait for that. I don't think Office sucks. I think it's fine.
Yeah, that's the thing. I just don't think it's as great as people say it is. It's like, I don't dislike it. I just don't like it. It doesn't deserve the hype it gets.
But anyway,
we're gonna have an episode on hot takes. Don't worry.
That's another podcast.
I'm interested to see what happens to Seinfeld. But
nothing can happen to it. It's cemented.
Untouchable.
For a certain generation of people, I think.
Forever and ever.
Amen.
Amen. Randy Travis said it. Right?
Zoomers, man. Zoomers. They might not zoom with the Feld,
Oh, they can zoom. They'll zoom it.
They're doing all their meetings on Zoom already. So, they'll fall right into it, Eric.
Well, we'll see what the Zoomers that are also fans of the podcast say.
Kayla voted Rust?
Oh, I think so.
Yes.
I think she's voting against Costanza.
No, what I want to say, my vote is not anti-Costanza. I think George is funny. I actually do like Seinfeld, maybe not as much as everyone else, but for
me and Mike,
its amazing influence on like pop culture and comedy cannot be like overstated.
Denied.
Like,
Yeah.
come on, like it's Seinfeld, but it's Rust for me, So,
Russ took me in, man. You're just like totally in that world when you're watching True Detective, and especially when he's on screen.
I don't disagree.
Oh, it's like tough. These like
I
we talked about 4 matchups and we came to one decision. So, it's like
George took me there again and again and again and again and again for so many years. And Rusk probably could have. I don't know. I know it's unfair to go with, kind of a short run show versus something that went, I think, 9 seasons.
7, maybe, I don't know.
Was it 7? Okay.
I think it was.
However long. I
Damn good show.
I can't do it, George.
Just wanna
So
let you-
all right.
Just want to let you know, Mike, if you ever need me to throw a marble rye up to you, several stories up, I got you.
Thank you. Thank you. If I ever need,
It's gonna be like
if I ever
several
have
states.
if you can see Tomas's arms in the Discord video, I think he can make a couple states with that throw. So,
Got you, fam. And I'm wearing my Hulkamania shirt too.
oh my
man.
god, really on brand,
Ooh.
folks. Really on brand.
Went to Clearwater,
Um,
man. Went to go visit Hulk Hogan at his hometown.
Oh boy. Well, folks, we decided almost nothing tonight, but it wouldn't be the machine of nonsense and the bracket of nonsense if there wasn't any nonsense. So we're gonna leave it up to the fans on 3 of these matchups. You guys have to tell us: is it Tony Stark or Joel Miller? Is it Rust Cohle or George Costanza? Or is it Lou Bloom or Sirius Black? So 3 matchups. Let us know what you think. That's going to be posted to the Monstars fan group. Tell your friends, have them join the group and vote, and maybe they'll stay. Who knows? Please vote. Let us know. We need to figure out who's going to the semifinals.
The Elite Four.
The
There's
Elite
only one
Four.
of these that you could potentially fuck up, Monstars. All right? Don't fuck it up. All right? I'll know who you are. All
We
right?
will. We're going to have
Put
all
you
of your
down.
names. So if you make the right choices, I will, I don't know, I'll send you something nice
Ooh.
on Facebook.
He
Nothing
won't.
monetary whatsoever.
Don't listen to him. He will not remember that. He won't.
I'm going to have to, edit this podcast, so I'm going to at least listen to myself once.
That's a good point.
So I'll remember at least probably tomorrow when I'm editing this.
There you go.
All right, folks, let's wrap it up. This was episode 46 of the Machine of Nonsense. We kind of sort of did round 4 of the bracket of nonsense. When all is said and done, we're going to get down to the last 4 contestants in this bracket. We've had a lot of fun doing this. Our next episode will be the final episode of the Bracket of Nonsense, and then we have some interesting things planned. After that, we're going to get back to doing some games and some other discussions that aren't the Bracket of Nonsense, but we're going to have an episode that details all of that coming up soon. As always, I thank you for listening, and please, if you aren't already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to the podcast. Leave us a review or a rating on your podcast app. Tell a friend, anyone who likes podcasts about video games, movies, TV shows, and just, people having fun on the internet. That's what we do. Join our fan group, Monstars, on Facebook. Leave us something funny, vote in our polls, send us a meme, join the conversation. We are on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Feel free to drop us a line on any of those things. And if you want to hear your voice on this podcast, you can leave us a message at anchor.fm/machine of nonsense. We would love to hear from you. We've had some fun voice guests before. We'd love to hear from you as well. Episode 46, that's a wrap. It was the Machine of Nonsense. For Mike, for Tomas, for Kayla, I'm your host, Eric, and we're saying goodbye.
See you.
Serenity now. When we blow up big and we eventually get a cease and desist from Warner Brothers, what are we going to name our fan?
I love it. Oh, man.
Oh, Lord.
I'll just die happy when we get that cease and desist. I'm like, I've accomplished what I came to this planet to do. So
Frame that motherfucker. Put it on the wall.
I'm not only stopping the podcast, I'm stopping living at that point. I'm just, I cannot do better than that. So
Eulogy will be Eric went out on top.
Don't you hear